I looked at our inverter and we are currently drawing about 1,670 watts of solar. Batteries are at 95%. Hey, my name is Joe and I'm one half of Two Crazy Campers, and after losing a combined weight of more than 200 pounds, we discovered we had so much more energy for activities. Come along with us as we explore the great outdoors and join us on a brand new adventure. And it's go home day from the Big Beer Battery Solar Clinic, and we get to test out our new system. I'm super excited about this. One of the reasons we wanted to have a big solar system is because we want to be able to travel off grid. And then when we do travel places, I don't want to pay for like campgrounds overnight. For me, I have a hard time spending $40, $50, $60 to stop someplace overnight when I'm not going to get to enjoy the facilities. You know, just to pay to park somewhere, I don't like that. I want to be able to pull over, have access to electricity, especially during the summer, have access to my air conditioner, do some work, do live streams, stop at Cracker Barrels, go to different places where you can park for free and camp. And then also, obviously, be able to go off grid. I mean, we are so excited about this system. Rachel and I are already talking about going to Quartzsite next January. And instead of like doing something local in January, traveling a little bit across the country and meeting new people. And that's what camping is all about. And I've had so much fun this week. I mean, not only did I get a great system, and not only did I learn how to install the system and also maintain the system, but I got to meet new people. I got to hang out with people. I mean, I was not the only person at the solar clinic. I mean, you can see right next door to me, we had Chris and his wife. They were here and they were doing an install, and, you know, they just went full time in their RV. And, you know, they were trying to upgrade their system a little bit, and we got to spend some time together. We learned how to do our solar stuff. We ate dinner together. It's been so much fun. I rolled up this window shade for the first time and realized we still had stickers in the window, because in Florida, we never roll up our window shades. We're always trying to keep it cool in here. So anyway, here's the thing. I'm heading out today. It is about 8 o'clock in the morning. My goal is to get back to Florida by Monday, maybe Sunday. I'd love to be home by Sunday because I really miss Rachel. I haven't seen her actually in 8 days. I've been, you know, gone for 8 days now. And so I really miss her, but I don't want to push it either. So I'm going to use my RV Life Pro app, and I'm going to map everything out in how I want to go. It looks like Chris is leaving there and pulling in his slides. I'm going to map everything out. My goal is to drive about 8 hours a day, which would leave on Monday about 3 to 4 hours for me to get home. And my goal is to not have to stay at a campground. I've got a system. Let's go ahead and test the system. So maybe stop at Cracker Barrels, Bass Pro Shops, any kind of free places where I can still have electricity because of the system, and spend the night and, you know, get that little bit of rest and relaxation. So I'm going to start heading out, packing up everything, and then we'll talk a little bit on the road. So we will take a look here. Here's our little console. I'm trying to set up my gray tank and I can't get it to work right. I think I put the sensor on the wrong tank. I'm not quite sure. So anyway, our battery right now is at 99% because I've already unplugged. We're already pulling in a little bit of solar up there. And so we're at 99%, 2 days and 1 hour. And I'm running a bunch of electric, like my alarm system and my internet and stuff like that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to travel just like I would normally do, which is I'm not gonna unplug a bunch of stuff. We're gonna leave the inverter on. We're gonna see how the solar does with it. And where are we when we park for the night? So by leaving stuff on, I'm talking about, like, Rachel has like a little bug thing in the back plugged into the wall. And then I have my internet plugged in and my alarm system hub plugged in. So we're gonna leave all of that plugged in, see how much draw it does while we're driving. We're gonna turn off the air conditioner, and then what we'll probably do is turn on the air conditioner about an hour or so before we stop. Today's video sponsor is RV Mattress by Brooklyn Bedding. Now, if you've been following us for any length of time, you know how much we value our sleep, because the bottom line is, when it comes to your health, it's not just about the food you're eating, but also the sleep you're getting, because good quality sleep is super important for your overall health. And that's why when we got our first RV, we were looking to replace the crappy mattress it came with. And we did a lot of research and decided to try out RV Mattress by Brooklyn Bedding. Now, I'm going to be honest. When we first heard about RV Mattress, we were a little skeptical, because who knows what you're going to get when you're buying a mattress online and you've never actually laid in it. But RV Mattress by Brooklyn Bedding offers a 120 sleep night guarantee along with a limited lifetime warranty. And because of that, and the fact that RV Mattress by Brooklyn Bedding is assembled right here in the United States and ships to your door for free, we decided to try out the Aurora Luxe by RV Mattress. And I'm going to say, we could not have been happier with that mattress. It was super thick, luxurious. It had a unique cooling top that really helped to regulate our body temperature. And we loved it so much, we ended up purchasing one for our house. Now, installing a new mattress from RV Mattress by Brooklyn Bedding could not be easier. Like I said, it gets delivered to your door for free in the contiguous United States. Simply bring it inside, get rid of your old crappy mattress first. Then you're going to take it out of the box, bring it up to wherever you're going to install it, unroll it, slice down the side, and watch the magic happen and get some amazing sleep. Now, if you're interested in a new mattress from RV Mattress by Brooklyn Bedding, I'm going to leave a link right here on the screen, and that's going to get you 30% off. But here's the cool thing. If for some reason at the time you decide to get a new mattress from RV Mattress by Brooklyn Bedding, and they're having a better sale than that 30% off link, when you use that link, you're still going to get whatever the better deal is. So if you're interested in a new mattress, take a look at RV Mattress by Brooklyn Bedding. We want to say thank you very much to RV Mattress by Brooklyn Bedding for sponsoring today's video. And we want to thank you guys for supporting the sponsors who support Two Crazy Campers. So I just stopped at a Safeco fuel stop before getting on I-20 here in Texas to fill up with fuel using my Open Roads app. And I also wanted to weigh the trailer. When I left Big Beard Battery, I decided I really wanted to know how much weight did we add onto the RV and how much of that is being transferred into the truck, considering most of that weight is towards the front. So, you know, like Todd told me, probably about 90% of that weight is going to get transferred over to the bed of the truck because of the position of it is. So after fueling up, we've got 5,720 pounds on the rear axle, and that's leaving me with another 620 pounds for like Rachel and other cargo we may put in the truck. So I'm really pleased with that. And it looks like we are transferring about 2,660 pounds of pin weight onto the truck. So I'm really excited about that. Also, I did weigh everything with a full tank of fresh water. Even though I don't normally travel with full tanks of fresh water, I wanted to like basically give myself a little headway with weight and everything. And I'm still about 600 or 700 pounds under the GBWR of the RV. So even though we did add a significant amount of weight with the batteries and the solar panels, we are still under the GBWR of the trailer for towing legally. So yay for that. I'm gonna get back on the road. Probably gonna drive for about another 6 or 7 hours today. We're just gonna see how it goes. I'm gonna stop when I'm ready. So I'm driving on I-20 through Louisiana, and we are going through Shreveport. Actually, I just passed through. And I just have to say that is some white knuckle driving. I mean, I experienced it on the way over, and honestly, I forgot about it. But you have about 6 miles where I-20 narrows down to one lane, and it gets so narrow, you think you're not gonna fit, especially towing the RV. I mean, I'm looking out the front of the truck, and I'm like, oh my gosh, does the truck fit, let alone the RV? Because we are, you know, more than 101 inches wide back there, you know, because it's 101 inches, but then you also have, you know, your awnings and stuff like that. So it's a little white knuckle driving. I don't know any ways around it. I guess you could go 49 south and go all the way down and around, but the app didn't give me any kind of alternate things. There were no like signs saying like, here's an alternate route. So just giving you a little warning, it is some white knuckle driving. I mean, I don't mind towing a trailer, and I don't tend to get nervous driving, but that makes me nervous. So we've been driving for about 7 hours, 7.5 hours or so. It is currently 4:30, and we're in Mississippi right now. I stopped at a Kangaroo fuel stop. I think it's called Kangaroo fuel stop. Anyway, we're going to stop in about an hour at a Cracker Barrel. So I just stopped here. They have free water. I'm putting a little bit of water into the RV for the night because I did dump all of the water that we had after I weighed it. So I want to get a little bit of water to take a shower, flush toilets, things like that. I accidentally dumped all of it. I meant to only dump like half of it, and I dumped it all. So we needed to get some water. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to use my Celio app to turn on my AC because I love that thing. I don't even have to go inside of the RV. We're gonna start cooling it down. I did check on the Victron app, and we have 100% battery. So we're gonna start cooling down the RV because it is a little warm out here. It's about 5:45, made it to Cracker Barrel here in Mississippi. And we've driven for right around 8 hours or so, gone about 460 miles. So we're gonna go inside, I'm gonna get something to eat, and then I'm gonna ask the manager if it's okay to park overnight. Should always, when you stop at a Cracker Barrel, just double check with them that they allow overnight parking, because some states and stuff just don't allow it. So I always like to go in and ask you, hey, do you mind if I park overnight? So we'll see what happens. So I'm gonna have some ribs with no barbecue sauce and broccoli. And then I spoke with the manager, and the manager said that we can park overnight. So we're gonna stay over in the RV spots and get a good night's sleep and get up in the morning and get going. I'll let you know what's going on with the AC and the batteries when we get back in the RV. So let's take a look at where we're at right now. So battery's at 94%. We're pulling 825, roughly 830 watts of electricity. The AC is running right now. It's been running for about 3 hours. That's not bad at all. I'm actually pretty impressed with that. When you think about the fact that we've been disconnected for shore power for 13 hours, and we didn't unplug anything. I mean, we turned off the ACs, then we turned the AC back on about 3 hours ago. But all of the other stuff that we normally have plugged in is plugged in. So our internet is plugged in. We have our alarm system plugged in. The microwave's got some parasitic draw. And then we also have the converter, the 12-volt converter that comes with the RV. Because what we did was, since we have a 24-volt system, we left a 100 amp hour 12-volt battery plugged in up in the front, and that is running all of the 12-volt side of the RV, and then it is being charged by the onboard converter. Yes, that is not as efficient as getting a DC to DC charger, but why spend money if you don't have to? If we find that it draws a lot of power, like too much power, then we can always add a DC to DC charger. But we really want to have that 12-volt battery on board, because if you were to eliminate the 12-volt battery and just go 24 to 12, you really wouldn't have enough amps to like do your slides, to do your landing gear. I mean, it would do it, but it would really sag, and you know, some things it may not run, because the biggest you'd be able to get is a 70 amp one, so you'd have to get 2 of them, and why spend that money? There's no reason to. So we've got the single 12-volt 100 amp hour battery. I have a second one at home So we're gonna run them in parallel. So we'll have 200 amps in the 12 volt side, and then just let the onboard charge it up, and then have the solar charging the entire system up. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna leave the ACs running all night. I'm actually gonna run the one in the bedroom and the one out here in the living room, and see how things go. Like, where do we wake up in the morning with regards to how much power, and then does the sun, as we're driving, charge the system back up? Good morning. It's about 7:30 in the morning. I'm getting ready to get out of here right now. And so thankful for Cracker Barrel and be able to stop over here overnight. Let us know down in the comment section, do you guys stop at Cracker Barrel for quick stops overnight? Or do you stop somewhere else? Let us know down below. If you don't go to Cracker Barrel, where do you stay? And I had a great night's sleep thanks to my Sedona Elite mattress from Brooklyn Bedding. I absolutely love that mattress. We also have the Aurora Luxe from RV Mattress and Brooklyn Bedding at home, and that is a great mattress too. I mean, if you gave me my preference, I would get the Sedona Elite. The Sedona Elite is just like, it is amazing. I sleep so well on it. I'll leave a link for them down below. So anyway, I kept it very cold here in the RV. I really wanted to push the, whole electrical system. I mean, it wasn't super hot outside, but it still required air conditioning. And here in the main cabin, I ran the air conditioner for a few hours, and then I decided to turn that off and just turn on the one up in the bedroom, especially because I didn't have the slides open. That's one of the things I love about the 30BH is I can get into the refrigerator, I can get into the bathroom, I can get into the bedroom. I don't have to open up my slides. We try not to open up our slides when we stop at Cracker Barrel's because there's, you want to be able to have people park next to you, and, I already have to worry about the ladder. So, we kept the slide closed, but what I did was in the bedroom, I put it on like 60 degrees, 65 degrees. I think it was like 60 degrees that I had it on. But then what I also did was I didn't put the fan on auto. Normally we keep the fan on auto. I just left the fan on all the time because that's going to use a lot of electricity to keep the fan running. So let's go ahead and take a look at where we're at with our batteries. So we're at 72% on our battery. Marine inverter, we're pulling 81 watts in AC loads, and even though it's only 7:30 in the morning, we're already putting in 422 watts on our solar. So I made it to Buc-ee's in Alabama, and I have to tell you, this one's a little difficult. We love Buc-ee's. We stop at every Buc-ee's we're gonna pass, no matter how many times we've gone there. Let us know down in the comment section, are you a Buc-ee's groupie? I guess that's what you can call us. But we absolutely love Buc-ee's. I like the food. Rachel likes to shop. It's always a great place to rest. Plenty of gas pumps. You can get your diesel. They have DEF at the pump. It's awesome. And most of the Buc-ee's that we stop at are pretty RV friendly, meaning if you go back up around the back, you can always find, number one, a place to park if you're not getting fuel, or a pump way out of the way where everybody's not trying to get to it in their car. This Buc-ee's here in Alabama, not very RV friendly. Honestly, it's not very car friendly. I don't know if this is a newer Buc-ee's or not, but it is busy and they have people directing traffic, and there's cones everywhere. When you try to pull in, you're getting directed, and then they're blocking off places. I mean, there was like a long line. I waited on it for about 5 minutes and then I went around. And I think that you probably would have been here for about an hour or so before I just, and another Alliance owner just waved at me. Probably would have been here for like an hour before you ever pulled in, and I didn't want to get fuel. I actually stopped at a Love's fuel stop about an hour back to fill up with fuel because we had our open roads card. So I got directed down this one side where I can just park across several spaces way in the back. The problem is the other end had cones. They wouldn't let you pull straight back out. So you had to find a place where you could basically kind of back up and then pull through some open spaces that aren't coned off. So now that we're out of the Buc-ee's parking lot, I can finish what I was talking about. So yeah, it's not a fun one to visit. I mean, it's not even really packed inside. It's just the traffic pattern is horrible to get in. And I feel like the people who are directing traffic are making it worse. So again, I don't know if I would stop back there, but we do like to stop there. Sometimes we get food, sometimes we don't get food. Rachel likes to get pajamas and different things like that. They always have these different soft pajamas, so she likes them. And then whenever I go to a Buc-ee's, I get my grandbaby something, usually a shirt. She loves Buc-ee's, so I always get her a shirt. A lot of times I like to get her a shirt that matches mine so we can wear it. And now we have another grandbaby on the way, so I bought a onesie for the grandbaby, and then I bought Rachel the same shirt, and Peyton already has that shirt, so like all three of them can match. And then I actually got one of these Texas burritos. These things are so good, and no, I don't eat the tortilla. You basically can just like scoop it out, and I'll eat it with a fork or a spoon. And my intention was to actually sit in the parking lot for a little while and eat, and then I was going to make a thumbnail for a video so that Rachel could premiere it today over on our keto channel. And I saw this opportunity where, okay, I can pull through. There were a bunch of cars out, so I'm like, I'm gonna get back on the road, and then I'm gonna just stop at like a Love's or a rest area or something like that and eat the next one I come across. So now we're on our way to our last stop for the day, which is gonna be a Cracker Barrel in Florida. That's where I'm gonna stay overnight. We've got about 4.5 hours to go. It's about 316 miles. So RV Life's app is kind of weird with estimating time. I put in there that I'm gonna drive 60 miles an hour and that I wanna drive 8 hours a day. And it kind of gives you an estimate. A lot of times I pull in before that says it's going to, because it's not like Apple Maps where it's taking into account, you know, traffic and things like that. Here, it really just takes into account the speed limit that you put in. You know, they do have a setting where you can use the speed limit on the roads, but I don't really drive that, so that would actually tell me it's gonna be faster. And then it also doesn't take into account like stopping, and again, traffic. It's not like Androids or Apple where it knows if there's an accident, slow it down. So I generally put it at like, I'm gonna drive at 60 miles an hour, which is slower than I'm gonna drive, but that helps account for stops for fuel and things like that. And then a lot of times I generally come in just a little bit earlier than what it's estimating. So it's saying I'm gonna be at Cracker Barrel somewhere around 4:30, 4:15, 4:30. So we'll spend the night there, and that will put me about 4 hours away from the house. Now, as far as the solar system, I did check on the app, and we're like 90% on the battery, pulling in about 1,670 watts. There hasn't been really any clouds in the sky. There's a couple over me, but we got a pretty sunny sky. So I'm guessing that by the time we get to Cracker Barrel, our batteries are gonna be back at 100%. Okay, so we made it to Florida, and I stopped at the Welcome Center and ate my lunch. I absolutely love those Texas brisket burritos from Buc-ee's. They're a little expensive, but they're so good. And then I went and I made a thumbnail for a video we were releasing on Two Crazy Ketos today. If you've ever been to Elkhart, Indiana, there's a place called Smokin' Fatty's Barbecue. Really, really great. Highly recommend. Well, they have a hot cabbage, and Rachel figured out how to duplicate the recipe. So go ahead and check that out. I'll leave a link for it up here. I'm gonna get back on the road and get to the Cracker Barrel. Oh, by the way, I stopped and looked at our inverter, and we are currently drawing about 1,670 watts of solar. Batteries are at 95%. Well, I made it to the Cracker Barrel in Lake City, Florida. This puts me about 3.5 hours from home, 3.5 to 4 hours. Tampa traffic could be horrible on I-75. So, I mean, it could take 5 hours for all I know. But I thought about actually just pushing through and driving straight home and not stopping for the night, but that would have put me home somewhere between like 9:30 and 10 o'clock if I don't hit any traffic on I-75 in the Tampa area, and chances of that are pretty small. And we live kind of out in the middle of nowhere. It is pitch black, one lane in each direction, no street lights, and for our farm, I have to back the RV down the driveway, and I just don't want to do that in the dark. So I figured it's better to just stop, let's play it safe. You know, when it's dark, that's when accidents happen. So I figured just play it safe, stop here at Cracker Barrel. I did call ahead. So I've been hearing rumblings that Cracker Barrel is kind of cracking down and saying that you can't like keep your RV and park overnight. So like, I guess I've gotten lucky, and you know, the one in Mississippi as well as this one here is still allowing it. My suggestion would be to call ahead. You know, so if you're planning on stopping in a Cracker Barrel, call ahead to a few of them and just say, hey, are you still allowing, you know, overnight camping? And also, what ruins this kind of stuff for people is when you stay overnight and then don't go in and go shopping or eat breakfast or dinner or something like that there. So if you're going to stay in Cracker Barrel, if they allow it, make sure that you're actually patronizing the store, and hopefully, you know, like, we'll be able to continue doing it. The other thing I suggest, and this is one of the things I love about RV life, is looking ahead and kind of looking in the area of where about you want to stop for like alternatives just in case. So what I ended up doing is when I stopped at a rest area, I just pulled up the RV Life app and was like, okay, so if Cracker Barrel does not allow it, where else can I stay? And so I found a Camping World, because we're Good Sam's members, and a lot of the Camping Worlds will allow you to stay overnight, which was like one exit away. And I also found an RV resort, can't remember the name of it, but it was like $26 for the night. And so I always look for like 2 or 3 places. I'm not really one who wants to plan my overnight stop. I mean, I'll kind of map out about where I want to stop, but I don't want to make reservations until I'm close, because what if something happens? What if you hit a bunch of traffic and you don't make it to that area? Or, you know, you get tired early and you want to stop early, or you get there way ahead of time and you're like, I want to keep going. So I tend to want to have a plan of where I'm going, but I don't want to put any money down until I know I'm going to be there for sure. So, you know, if it's an establishment that maybe like closes at 6 o'clock and I don't know if I'm going to make it there, I don't want to pay that kind of money. So I'll ask, do you have late check-in or something like that? Same thing for Harvest Host. I love Harvest Host, but Harvest Host, you have to make reservations ahead of time. So if I'm going to use a Harvest Host, I always want to plan that out way ahead of time and make sure I'm going to get there at the right time. For this, I'm just trying to do as much driving as I can. So I've got my air conditioners on. I turned them on about an hour and a half ago. When I turned them on, the batteries were at 100%. And so we're going to run them all night. We're in Florida now, so we need the air conditioner. And we're going to see where we're at in the morning and see how much it charges up between here and the drive home, which is about 4 hours. My intention when I get home is to not hook up the shore power. I want to run the batteries all the way down and see how we do. And then in a future video, I'm going to actually basically go over what have we found that this system is capable. So if you have questions about our system, leave them down in the comment section and I will answer them in a future video. Maybe you want to know, like, why do we go 24 volt? Why big beer battery? What kind of things have we learned with this system? So any questions you have on our solar system or anything like that, or any questions at all, leave them down in the comment section and we will answer them in a future video. Good morning. It's about 5 o'clock in the morning and I didn't sleep really well last night. I only slept like a couple of hours. I think I'm just like really anxious to get home since I've been gone for 10 days and away from Rachel for 10 days. So I'm just gonna like kind of pack up and get out of here. That'll also help me hopefully to miss some of the Tampa traffic, since I'm probably about 2 hours away from Tampa. So maybe I'll miss rush hour, you know, if I get through to Tampa somewhere around 7 o'clock in the morning or so. Let's go ahead and check out our batteries and see where we're at. So we're pulling about 175, 180 watts right now. So that's going to be the inverter, the converter for the 12 volt, the alarm system, our internet, that kind of stuff. So it says we're inverting and we are at 73% battery. What else we got going on here? I have added in all of my little Mopica sensors. So my freshwater tank's at 64%, my black tank's at 0, my left propane is at 19%, and my right propane is at 100%. I still need to add sensors on the gray tanks, which I just didn't have them with me. I had 2 sensors aside from the propane ones, so I knew where the freshwater tank was, and then I found one of the front tanks, and I thought it was a gray tank. It turned out to be the black tank. I'll have to do another video on that, but basically it's a matter of finding the tank, and then you basically have to drain the complete tank, and then you have to fill it up to where you feel comfortable. I like measure it using a flow meter, And then when it's all the way full, let it sit for about 10 minutes, and then you have to like go into the servo like on the screen, and it's going to tell you like what level it is, and you mark that as full. I mean, it works pretty well for the gray tanks in a freshwater tank. Black tank is kind of iffy because, you know, it's measuring a solid, and so it's not quite as accurate as water, but it still kind of gives you an idea. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here now. I got home.
I may never let you out of my sight again.
Did you miss me?
I missed you so much. Did you miss me?
Of course I missed you.
A little bit, not really.
I missed you a lot. Although at least I had a really comfortable bed to sleep in the whole time.
Yes, you did. And I enjoyed my blow-up mattress. Thanks for that.
So got home. I had a rough drive home. You know, I left early, like I said. I didn't sleep really well, and I just wasn't feeling that good. So I ended up pulling over to Love's gas station for about an hour or so. I just took a nap.
Thank you for listening to your body. I think that's really important as an RVer. That's part of our responsibility in RVing, is listening to our bodies, not trying to push through because we want to be someplace at a certain time.
Yeah.
I know that can feel important, but it's dangerous if you don't listen to your body. So thank you for pulling over. Did you have a good time?
I had such an amazing time in Texas.
Was it just the brisket?
I learned so much. The brisket was good, but I learned a lot, and in the end, we've got an amazing solar system.
Do you think that it is a course or an experience that even somebody who is not as handy as you could benefit from?
I think anybody could benefit from it. You know, all you need to do is have some very basic knowledge about how to follow directions, because Todd and the rest of the guys are really going to walk you through things. I mean, the more you know, I think the easier it's going to be. But honestly, I would never recommend somebody actually going and just paying somebody else to do an install on the system, because when you have a problem, you're going to have to call that person back. Whereas if you do the system yourself,
right,
you really understand it. And I really got a good firsthand experience during the install, and then driving home to really see everything that the system was able to do really made me feel good about everything we put in. I mean, the fact that I never had to plug in, no matter where I stopped. I had air conditioning. I was able to watch TV, the internet.
It's incredible.
The system was recharging like halfway through the day. The system was recharged. I mean, we got home, or I got home, and I was already back at 100%. We didn't film as soon as I got home, because as soon as I got home, we had to go do a live stream.
Right.
But, you know, overall, I think the system is great, and I'm really excited to see all the different places that, you know, having this incredible solar system is going to take us.
I enjoy seeing your level of confidence boosted. Like, I feel like, you know, you've dabbled in solar before, but this is different. Like, you're coming back from this experience feeling a lot more confident. And I like that you said when there's a problem, because it's not an if.
Right.
I mean, there will be a time when you need to figure something out. I mean, you just do. That's not anything about like, well, there's something wrong with solar panels. No, it's just, you know, things happen, and you will have to probably check it out again. Yeah.
So next up, what we're going to do is start extensively testing this unit. I'm going to start running us off grid, even here at the farm.
Yikes.
And see like how far can batteries take us? You know, how often do I have to plug back in? I mean, we are in Florida. We're coming into summertime, so we're always going to be running 2 ACs.
Pray for us.
So my question is now going to be, how much can I run at the same time? Whereas, you know, with our old system, you had to be very careful. You really could only run like 1 AC. You know, if you were going to run the microwave, you kind of had to turn things off because you were worrying about overloading the system. But with this system, I'm probably not going to be able to overload it by the limited testing that I've already done. But I want to really push the limits. Like, how far can we run if we run 2 or even 3 ACs without plugging in? So make sure you're subscribed to the channel for when those videos go up, because we're going to really push this system to the limits.
And you can, because you know how it works. You know the intricacies of it. So I think it's going to embolden you to like really test and get the full value out of the system.
So what we're going to do is we're going to do that. That'll be in a future video. Now, please do us a favor. Hit the like button on this video. That's going to do two things. Number one, it really does help build our channel, which we greatly appreciate. But more importantly, what it's going to do is it's going to let us know what kind of videos you guys are looking to see.
Also, don't forget to hit the little bell button, and that way every single time Joe comes home from a camping trip, you'll be alerted to it.
Till next time,
Happy camping.